Checking back in with TG. You know, I guess we should be thankful that we don't live in Nevada or Idaho where they're dealing with the cricket
That was
infestation.
your favorite story of the year so far, I know.
We're going to have nightmares about that for a while.
Well, you got 3 minutes to cool down here. Well, that's one thing we're not, is we've got the muggy air out there that we've talked about, all due to that cutoff low, which is hanging tough to our south, and it will over the next day or so. Our daily rain and storm chances continue. Now, obviously, there will be a number of locations that may see very little in the way of rainfall. Everyone, I think, over the next 3 or 4 days will at least get something, a little more. It is looking warmer and drier, I think, especially the second half of the upcoming weekend. Max AC radar here really starting to light up. Lexington southward, that's on the northern edge of the low down to the south. We got one lone cell just kind of off of downtown. Looks like running out Tates Creek Road there, not far from the station, actually, trying to creep over toward Winchester Road. Also around South Visa in northern Mercer County, Perryville in Boyle County, and then Eubank there in parts of northwestern Pulaski County over into southern Lincoln County. Again, these things are scattered around the area. London, Corbin, both seeing a heavier shower. Occasionally you'll hear a rumble of thunder or two. Now that we've gotten a few breaks in the clouds earlier, and that's really ramping things up, you can see the circulation, which is now centered over East Tennessee. It looks a little ominous, but a few breaks in the clouds with our Bluegrass Pace Care Skyview HD camera network down in Richmond, 79. So those areas that have received very little rain and have had a few breaks in the clouds, we've overachieved into the upper 70s and low 80s. We expected upper 70s with some of the rain-cooled air. We got low to mid 70s down south. Dew points, great measure of the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. We've talked about it all summer long. This is really the first time here ending spring and now kicking off summer. We've had these low 70 dew points. That's when it really feels muggy out there. And there's the low, which will continue to drift to the south, but we're not going to be rid of it for a few more days. First things first, what we've got out there right now, I think as we get deeper in the evening, things will quiet down a bit. Can't rule out an isolated shower or two. Temperatures, again, shouldn't move very much. I don't think we made it below 70 here in Lexington this morning. And then tomorrow, the coverage may be a little bit less. What's going to happen is the low is actually going to begin to jog to the north as high pressure moves out of the way. It's going to squeeze it and force it back to the north. So I do think we may pick the pace up just a bit Thursday into Friday. Now, the model's not necessarily agreeing with the amount of moisture. The GFS a little bit more aggressive than the European model here. But this is the GFS. In fact, it is the wetter of the two. Although on Saturday, basically east of I-75, that'll be the favorite area. And I think this may even be a little bit overdone on Sunday. So at this point, I think Sunday is going to be mainly dry and warm. And then we've got another cold front coming in here. Won't see a big change in temperature behind it, but I think additional rain and storms possible rolling into Monday. We mentioned the summer solstice. That is tomorrow, Wednesday at 10:58 a.m., and it will be the longest day, meaning the most daylight that we see. With sunrise tomorrow at 6:16, sunset at 9:04. That is a big whopping 14 hours and 48 minutes of daylight. Hey, we'll take it, especially, again, when we're going to start to head the other way, slowly but surely, with the daylight getting a little shorter through the rest of the summer and into fall. Upper 60s tomorrow morning, mid to upper 70s tomorrow afternoon. Still breezy in the extended forecast here. Again, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, similar to today. These things will be scattered about. It is not going to be a washout in any particular area. And then we'll lessen the chances. We go mainly dry on Sunday with upper 80s. And then that frontal boundary moves through. And not bad this time next week with afternoon highs right around 80.
In consumer news, the price of orange juice will be going up again after Florida farmers produced the smallest citrus crop in nearly a century. It was a tough year for the state's orange trees, which were hit by bad weather and by an epidemic of disease. And since Florida produces the majority of domestic juice oranges, customers will be hit right in the wallet. And those who are able to find and afford a gallon of juice, which retails for more than $10 right now, might notice it doesn't taste as sweet. That's because nearly all of Florida's groves were hit by the greening disease, which causes the fruit to be bitter. And according to analysts, the U.S. will not be able to lean on Brazil for more oranges. That country's production was also affected by bad weather. International Swifties feeling left out? Well, shake it off because Taylor Swift has just announced global tour dates. Pop sensation Taylor Swift has a big reputation these days as she wraps up her national tour showcasing her multiple albums. She previously announced dates for shows in Latin America. Today, Swift announced she's taking her Eras tour abroad with stops in Asia, Europe, and Australia. Shows start in February of 2024. Up next, the lucky man in Kentucky who won $50,000 on a scratch-off ticket. Plus, an update from the fishing crew that was disqualified after some fishy rules.